our 3 p.m. matchup. It's a B-side clash here. We've got from Venezuela, Jesus Atencio, and from Norway, Emil Gangfløt. Emil André Gangfløt. So to stay in the draw and still with a chance to get to the last 32 knockout stages, this is a big match. A lot of pressure out there, and these guys can play. Maybe not household names, but I've heard a little bit about them from a little research that's been done, and both very handy players. And I'm Jim White, and very happy to be joined by Eric Horlifson. And Eric, do you know either of these two?
Yeah, I actually played Gangfløt in the World 10 Ball Championships last year in Vegas. I didn't know his name at all. I think at that time he came in around about a 730 Fargo, and I think since then he's gone up about 30 points. So definitely a talented young player from Norway. He made it to the final 16 of the Matchroom event this year. Atencio is one of the most naturally gifted players on tour. Kind of has a reputation for being a little bit aggressive, creative, not afraid to really go at the rack. It's going to be a good match.
And again, you're still 2 out of 3 sets. Races to 4. If it gets to that 3rd set, the shootout will materialize. Convention Center, 2nd year it's welcomed these players from all around the globe. And just as last year, Eric drawing rave reviews. And you know, it's raining outside, it's humid, very damp conditions here in San Juan. But with the air conditioning on, they've got these tables playing perfectly.
Yeah, tables are still playing good despite the conditions outside.
Emil Gangfløt at the table right now. He's got a jump shot that welcomes him, but this guy is so handy with that short cue.
Yeah, it's kind of rare that you see a player come out of really nowhere and playing really his first major tournament about a year ago and getting to a spot where he's playing money matches. Played a big match against Oscar Dominguez a couple weeks ago. It was a close one. Oscar ended up getting it. But he's definitely a player that's looking at breaking into the upper echelon of all players. First chance to Atencio here. Rack's line good. 6, 7, 8 all close together. Similar with the low number balls.
Yeah, he's got a nice textbook type of fundamental. Eric, very still.
A lot of talent in his stroke. Stands a little square, but if you look how he times the ball a little bit longer on the backstroke, times it real well. Also a player no stranger to cash games. He's one of a few big ones.
So I think what you're telling me and the folks tuning into this is it's got a little bit of heart.
Definitely. Arguably the best player in South America. When he's in the U.S., he has a home base in South Carolina.
Marginally overhit that. Like to have been a little straighter on this 6. Would have made getting to the 7 certainly easier, and it would have been closer to the 7. So he may have to content himself with a little further shot on the 7. He does. It still shouldn't pose any problems at all. I like the speed that he plays too. Exudes confidence, and always, for me, when I see that unforced movement and something that's a little tough to predict when you're watching, it's always a sign of a guy that's trying to lasso his nerves.
Very solid over the ball, as you can see. Played a fair bit of majors. He's made it to the final 32 numerous times. Up into the final 16 a couple times, but never really into the quarterfinals.
Always off the mark here. Looking solid indeed. Jesus Atencio, rack number 1, race to 4, well and truly underway.
I watched him play his first round match. Played well, just a couple half mistakes. Lost to Jovan Bustamante. Bustamante played very well. Kind of been hitting in that first match. He was kind of hitting the break at about 60% speed. He has the talent to produce real big breaks. We'll see if going forward in the tournament he decides to kind of ramp up the speed a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody slow break yet, not like Pagulayan the other day. I mean, Alex almost just trying to turn it into a tactical battle right from the break. I haven't seen anybody else do that yet. But I haven't seen anybody completely master the break yet either. I mean, 10 ball, tougher to get a ball off the break than 9 ball.
I think as it's evolving, the players that are able to hit the break with a lot of speed are realizing that that's the best play. Just try to get as much movement out of the balls, give yourself a chance to make the one on the side. Yeah, he went after that one. That was much harder than he was hitting it in the first round. Didn't work out for him, but I like how he hit it.
Parked that cue ball.
Gangfløt's more of a tactical player, really solid fundamentally. More of the Ralph Soke type school. Very solid over the ball. Wide on that one.
Yeah, and that could be a costly miss. These balls are in the open.
Be a little work from the 3 to the 4. He has a 3-rail forward track. Try to get relatively straight on it. Enough angle to move the cue ball, but not too much where you're able to come up tight off 2 rails. Looking at that angle right now. Going it pretty well. Just got there, but he'll be all right here.
Probably a little closer to his work than he might have liked, but he's perfectly on line.
Yeah, I think he's going to draw the cue ball up the right side railing here. Play the 5 in the side. There's an option to play the 5 in the corner as well if he feels like he has too much angle. He's a talented pocketer, so he won't be worried about playing the 5 in the corner if he feels like that's the better play. Just move the cue ball less there. Got a little too much angle. The cue ball's going to be tracking towards the side pocket a bit here. Might have to elevate and dig into it a bit. A lot of traffic between the 6 and the 7. Can choose to just stop the cue ball. Looks like he's going to get a little more aggressive and draw out of the angle. Smooth rack here from Atencio. Good start. Looks like he's settled in. who need those ones to go in this short race format. Every game that you give away swings both ways in a short race to 4. Difference of being 2-0 ahead in the break. We're looking at a level score now. Bit of a gift for Emil here.
Yeah, no kidding.
A lot more tall players in the game now. You're seeing the Europeans play more. Looks like Emil's pushing 6'2" or 6'3".
Accepts that gift for sure, Eric. 1-1 our score. He secured the break in rack number 3. But without a doubt, Atencio had done all the hard work in the rack.
I think he was considering taking a break there. Referee just letting him know that breaks are only allowed between sets.
I saw Emil around the venue all day. He's actually trying to get on a table to practice. He was back and forth, and I don't know whether or not he ever did get on the table and hit a few balls this morning.
Yeah, he's a hungry young player. He's playing all the major events. Probably the only player from Norway on the circuit.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. If there's any other players from Norway, I don't know them, or I haven't met them yet.
Gonna go close bridge from the left side rail here. Half on the table, half off. I like this one. You can kind of generate more power when you're hitting close bridge. Elevate a little bit, pop the cue ball. Drew it, got lots of action out of the rack. Nothing down again. Shane Van Boning uses that break a lot. You see Jason Shaw use that sometimes too. Didn't leave an open shot for Atencio. If you can see the right side of the 1, he'll be able to play it up the middle. Try and get the cue ball behind the 9 or the 6. A little bit in between where the cue ball is going to tend to overrun the 9 and kind of hard to get all the way over to the 6. Didn't have enough of it. Lots of blockers on the table here for Gangfløt. Again, can look to cross the 1 up the middle if he has enough of it. Pretty big wall of balls over there with the 5-9-7. And I feel like he does have enough angle that he can get the cue ball over to that area. Good shot. Atencio is one of the most talented jumpers on tour. And if there's anyone that's actually going to attempt to jump here, it's him. He knows how close it is. Just actually looking right up at it to see how close it is. He's going to go for it.
You talked about the height too, Eric. That doesn't hurt when you're jumping. You know, you've really got to elevate. You're as tall as these young guys are, then elevating is a little easier.
There's a great highlight reel of Atencio actually executing a double jump. jumped the cue ball and then jumped the ball he was jumping at over another ball and pocketed it. That's how strong of a jumper he is. Attempted it in a match, made it. Got it over. Nice try.
Looks like only defense the option for Emil as well. So getting the lay of the land. This one ball, the key ball in this rack.
Yeah, the rest of the rack's fairly open. 3 might not pass the 4, but if it doesn't, it's available in the left side pocket. Double kiss was always a danger there. Got into it. So Atencio's going to have the first open look here. Looks like the 3 goes at least half pocket. He's going to have to consider it in the corner because just easier position overall. Go, got behind the 7. Just having a look to see if he can swerve at it. Jump this.
Wow,
This is
jump
super close. I mean, he's only on a quarter ball jump, but still, the kilo's got to get up immediately here. Look at that. Went to his break cue, so he had more power. Interesting. Good shot.
Yeah, I think I'll note that one on our highlight reel.
Yeah, I couldn't even see the gap between the cue ball and the 7. But he is noted as one of the strongest jumpers, and it's a big weapon. We've seen that with Fedor Gorst as well. Went aggressive at the bank there. Didn't get it. So a decent open look for Gangfløt here. After being down 1-0 and big threat to be down 2-0, he'll be happy to be in this situation. Got a little too much angle on the 4 here. A lot of traffic coming across table. Probably just choose to drop it in slowly, pocket weight. Outside spin's going to help him throw the angle a little bit there.
So far, it's been a matter of the opportunities and Atencio is afforded Emil Gangfløt. Eric, because he hasn't really forged his way into these opens, has he?
Yeah, Atencio's had the first look, I think, in every rack. One glaring error in rack 2 that ended up getting him. This rack was a little tougher, ended up with a bank. A couple of jumps to try to get him in good position.
The biggest difference, isn't it, between real elite players in the world? You know, you just don't get those second and third opportunities, do you? You know, when you give them the opening, they make you pay.
Yeah, having run out percentages in the high 80s, mid to high 80s instead of being in the 70s, it makes a difference in the long run. Not only in the score line, but also in the mental intimidation towards your opponent. Knew he had the right angle to push the 8 towards the corner there. Played a nice shot. Big favorite to go up 2-1 here. Be able to get perfect on the 10, but the 10's close enough to the pocket that he'll just accept the angle.
Extension call.
No extension.
No extension remaining.
Could go 4 rails and short around it, but I don't think it's worth it. Okay, shot clock running down, and now tide flows again. Unexpected mistakes here. Both these players in the high 700s with Fargo. As far as Fargo, just wouldn't expect them in this open balls. But both going to have to regroup.
Yeah, neither one of them have really settled in yet. Just as you said, unforced mistakes and unexpected as to when they come. Atencio, 2-1 advantage right now. At the end of the day, it never just says how, just who. This is one of those matches that maybe it's about survival. There aren't many tournaments. I'll bet you if you lined up all your winners, there aren't many tournaments where you could say to them, did you have any matches that you felt like you struggled? And more times than not, they're going to point out 1 or 2 matches in a tournament they will have won where they could have got beat.
100%, and then it's just the being mentally strong enough to survive and do all you can to win the match and not fold, right? You know, there's a lot of players over the course of history in the game when they kind of get stuck or when things go bad for them, they just tend to fold. I'm not saying that about either of these players, but it is a skill that you have to develop to just keep your head in it and try to give yourself the best chance to win when things aren't going exactly how you want.
I say this a lot, Eric, but you've played the game for a long time at a high level, and you understand, as do I, it's not necessarily about how good your good game is, it's how good your bad game is.
Definitely. Tried to cut the break a little more there, still unsuccessful. Nothing offensive here for Emil. Could get aggressive and try to play the cue ball down by the 9. Could use the 10-6. Cut the 1 thinly to the left, to his right. Use the 10-6 as a blocker. Not quite sure about this one. Calling the 6 on the side. Going to try to hit the top side of the 6 and get the cue ball behind the 10. Guess he thought the bank went. It looked like it was blocked, but he's on the table. He would have never shot it if he didn't think it went.
I'm not sure whether or not he's left the edge of this one. But either way, he's kind of gotten away with that. At least it appears so.
Just seeing if he can possibly combo the 6 into the side. It's actually there. Gonna have to cut the 1 to the left a little bit. But we've seen how strong Atencio is with the jump cue. Six is going to be going into the side pocket with a bit of speed, so he's going to have to target it very solidly here. Shot. Well, he's jumped his way out of some bad situations so far in these first 3 racks. Cue ball's naturally playing up towards the 2. 3's available past the 9. Tough on those long potting situations. Barely undercut there. Emil will be looking for a similar pattern throughout the rack.
Didn't quite get a full field in this year's event. 106 of 128 spots available. With the prize money, $125,000. 37,500 going to the eventual winner. So a lot to play for, a lot at stake. And as we've told you, there's women in action, and tonight, get to see our first team action take center stage. 8 o'clock local time. So set your alarms. You won't want to miss that. There's nothing better than team play. That'll bring out all the pressure.
Yeah, the teams will be in round robin brackets of 4. They'll play 3 matches, one against each other team in the bracket, and two of the 4 teams will advance to the single elimination stage. Lots of pressure right from the beginning match in all those in the team event. Just not quite flowing how they want. Good chance for Atencio to take a good lead in this first set here. You see the angle on the 4. Not sure if he can power draw straight back. Big stroke here from Atencio. Nailed it. Nice shot.
Best example in the match so far to the type of cue power he possesses. Do that full length of the table.
Decided to move the cue ball a little more here. Allowed him to play left spin on the shot. Favors the pocketing. Playing outside spin there. Back into the angle for position. He's looking real good to take the 4th rack of the match here. Got a little too much angle to possibly hold on the right side of the table, so I have to cross over. It's okay though. Good speed here.
And a 2-rack advantage, 3-1. I was looking prime to secure the first set. A few hiccups, fair to say. Nothing that a fresh bottle of water won't cure.
Smooth player though, Jim. It's the first time you've seen him play?
It is.
Yeah.
I've actually seen him on one of the outside tables, but I didn't really hang around to clock him a little closer. Not like we can here.
Yeah, usually players with a longer backstroke, they tend to kind of move on the shot a little bit, but he's dead still over the shot.
Yeah, you can see even with that long shot. And Emil's the same. You know, they're both tall, both got that long swinging action. They generate a lot of cue power with a minimal amount of effort. Yeah, if you were gonna tailor a pool player, I mean, you'd probably look at these body types, wouldn't you? You know, long and lean.
Yeah.
Get over the table easily. And you've got exceptions to the rule, like our Canadian champion Alex. I mean, he
sure.
He's the exception to the rule, the Lion.
Well, that's the nice thing about pools. There's really no physical limitations. You can, you know, as long as you're coordinated, that's the main skill. All body types can play this game.
Well, early chance for Gangfløt here. The break has not been kind to either player.
Yeah, I think they're 0 for 4, 0 for 5. That was the 5th break. I don't remember a player making a ball yet. Had to power out of that angle. Did it well there. Cue ball's going slightly the wrong way. Could be straight enough to draw straight back and play the 3 in the top left. Looks like he's going to go through it a little bit. Good shot. Cue ball's going to have to move from the 5 to the 6. 7's kind of in the way. 7 and 8 are kind of in the way of the position track towards the 5, but he'll figure it out. He can choose to play up the middle here and accept that he's going to have more angle on the 5, or he can choose to swing the cue ball to the left a fair bit more and take a chance at getting perfect on the 5. Swing the ball to the left 2 rails instead of playing 1. Looks like he's going to go for that. Playing across the angle here, so we'll see how the speed is. Pretty good. I feel like he's straight enough that he can come straight back now. Surprised he followed that ball, but I guess he thought the drawing angles were playing into the 8 or the 7. Good shot. And good line now.
This will be a confidence boosting visit too if he knocks the remaining colors in. You know, right from Atencio's break. This is the sort of visit he needed.
Yeah, smooth rack, got through it good. Played some tough shots at the beginning of the rack. Perfect line now.
Holds the cue nice and loose with his backhand.
See how much over the years the players have improved fundamentally. You know, back in the day, especially in pool, there was just kind of play your own style, make up your own style, do what works for you. But kind of seeing the players go to more like snooker fundamentals now, and the overall level of play is elevated because of it, for sure.
Yeah, most noticeable in the Mosconi Cup. I think the Europeans, they led the way in that department. The early days of the Mosconi Cup, USA owned it, and slowly but surely they were overtaken. They were completely dethroned, and for a long spell, you know, you'd see the Europeans who were very robotic and the fundamentals were so sound, and under pressure that stands up. You know, it's all about muscle memory. You train yourself, all those hours of practice, you train yourself to be able to just focus and let that back arm do what it's been trained to do and stand up under the heat. As you've noted, Eric, you start to see it now from a lot of players all over the world. You still see unique styles and variances. There's exceptions to the rule in just about every sport.
The Filipinos are kind of still playing field-based. They're the one players that are just kind of, they do their own thing. They do things a little unorthodox, but like extremely high-level players, obviously.
They lead the way mentally.
Sure, yeah. A lot of heart. And either player just finding a ball off the break. Wow, I'm going to see a long jump here from Atencio. I'll tell you what, if he jumps this ball in, the jumping in this set has made the difference. This is a tough one. I mean, the 7's far away. He's kind of reaching out for the cue ball. He's looking to see if he just has enough of it to swerve at it.
It's an all to one.
Yeah, it's a better option to swerve here. He's able to hit a direct. Good shot. Didn't want to nudge the 5, though.
Yeah, he may get the jump cue out now, though. Just got to go over the edge of the 4. see it? Just a slow swerve. Oh, he's all right.
Throw it in with a bit of right there.
Yeah, looked like he was all right. But the jump cue can stay home. 5-6 are a problem unless they offer a combination to the bottom corner.
Yeah, he had a look at it and he walked away from it pretty quick, so I think he thinks it's pretty wired.
Extension called.
Still got to get a specific angle on the 4, right around there, to be able to get the cue ball in the proper spot to attack the combo. Yeah, decided the draw shot was so touchy that he decided to power up. That's the sign of a player that likes to hit the ball a little harder. Most players would just draw back a couple foot and a half there, but didn't like the combo and decided to go into it. Kind of a tricky roll there. Looked like the 6 was angling towards the short rail a little bit. Probably could have threw it, but just decided the breakout was the better option. Didn't work out for him, so it's going to be a close first set here.
In the early going, it didn't look like there was going to be a lot to choose between these two. And then when Atencio raced out to a 3-1 advantage, he certainly was in the driver's seat.
Wants a similar angle on the 8 to where the cue ball is right now. Under drew it a bit, but he'll go put a good kill stroke on it here. Cue the ball very low, slow the speed down. Nicely done. The leg will come off the rail. You got Hill here.
Great way to start. Took a little extra time on that 9 there. Made certain of it.
We'll see how the break goes in the Hill game. They're 0 for 6 so far on the break.
Well, we've got a Hill decider to open things up here in a match that one survivor, the other one packs the bags.
Winner of this match will have 2 more matches to go to make the redraw portion of the tournament. Coming up at 5:30 Atlantic time, we're going to have a winner's qualification on the men's side. See Shane Van Boning coming into the TV table area here. He'll be up next on this table.
Shane will be up against John Mora on table number 2. Be able to see Aloysius Yap up against Junglin Chang. We get down to the business end of the tournament, and the big guns materialize.
It becomes tough to pick a winner, but somehow the high-level champions find a way to fight through it more often than not.
So here we go, 3-3. Let's see if we can find a break at this opportune time.
Just missed the one. 8 ball's going to trickle on the side. Doesn't have a shot on the one, but he'll be able to play an easy safe here. Just has to maneuver the one around the 5. If he does catch the 5, it's possible the one could come back towards the cue ball. He's kind of playing into it, and he has to hit it fairly squarely to stop behind the 4. Might be able to hit it thin enough that it just doesn't come back towards the 4. Was able to play around it. Good shot. It's got him good here.
Yeah. That's a tough one to hit. He's having a look at the same path in one take. Look, I don't know whether or not he's still got that available.
He'll definitely have to spin it, and he won't be able to get a lot of speed into the cue ball. But he's favoring that rail because the only other option is a 2 rail, which is tough to hit. Rest of the rack's looking okay, so this is the big ball in the rack. Doesn't like the 2 rail to the point that he's thinking about going short rail and checking back into it. I think he's got to go 2 rails here, though. Like playing this with a decent amount of speed, hold the angle as much as you can. And slow at it. Good. The thing about going slow at it there is very little chance of getting safe. I'm surprised.
No kidding. Even if you hit it, you're leaving both balls in the same quadrant of the table. A little perplexed about that. And the first real opportunity to secure this set, falling to Gangfløt.
Five ball's kind of messing with his positional plays towards the 4. He can stop the cue ball here and then shoot the 3 in the side and draw over for the 4 on the opposite side. Looks like he's going to have to do that now. Cue ball's running into the 5 naturally. Might be able to avoid it with just the left spin. Play the 4 in the long pocket. It's trickier than it looks. He's taking his extension here. Good control there. If he's got an angle going to the left, that'd be ideal. Bit of a shake of the head. It might be a little too much angle, actually. If the cue ball plays in between the 6-10, that'd be ideal. If not, he's going to have to play a slow draw. Slow the angle down. Gonna go corner here.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that selection, Eric. I thought position was a little tougher. Shot was definitely tougher. And just, raising the back end and playing the 4 into the side, holding it for the 5 to the top right corner seemed to be the easier of the 2 options. But again, you don't see the table exactly the way a player does, how he feels. So you never want to second guess, and it's always easy to second guess after.
Yeah, it's a player's choice. It's being comfortable with targeting the longer pocket there. Personally, I've always favored the shorter pockets.
Shot. Yeah, really been about let-offs in this opening set. Atencio with the chance to put all the misses completely out of his mind and secure the first set.
Plays nice and quick when he gets in line.
Yeah, and it was he who laughs last laughs best. And Atencio secures set number 1. And we will take a very short break. Get back with more action as set number 2 will wind it up. See you in a bit.
It doesn't matter what the format is, the better player will still win.
This 10 ball to win the title. He is your champion. New world champion. Philippines are the world champions.
So our second set just about to get underway, and leading 1-0. Venezuela, Jesus Atencio and Emil Gangfløt. He took a little longer break there, probably trying to get all those negative thoughts out of his mind. You know, he comes to the table with a little bit of a smile. Looks like he's hit the reset button, and time will tell. Rack number 1, set number 2.
Another big break, nothing down though.
Yeah, and a chance. Half a chance for Atencio.
A lot of congestion in the middle of the table here, kind of lower half middle. If he's able to weight the cue ball perfectly, kind of between the 8-7. Oh, I can go corner, maybe. Just worried about running into the 8 there, but maybe he'll run into it in a way where he actually stops where the 8 is.
Yeah, they've cut on the 2, Eric. I think that's exactly what the game plan is. Use the 8 to hold position for the 2.
Under drew it a bit, to the point where he's going to have to jump. He's on the wrong side of the table here to jump. He's just going to get up right now and see if he can get at it. He can. A lot of body contortion there, but
I get a sore back watching shots like this.
He's going for it. Aiming's a lot tougher here because you're off balance.
And he's got to keep a foot on the floor too.
Yep. Jeez, what a try.
You can't believe it didn't go in.
Yeah, it's like, if you want to see a look of disbelief, that's what it was on his face there. Rack's opened up now. He's going to have to avoid some traffic going towards the 3. Nice power draw stroke there.
Yeah, that was a lot tougher than it looked. You've got a ball so deep in the throat of the pocket, the way that too, it's never easy to negotiate how the cue ball's coming out, and I mean to control a deep draw shot the way that Emil just did. Full value.
The thing about those is your mind can play tricks on you, because you can actually hit any part of the ball and still make the ball. But now you actually have to hit the exact angle to draw back on the angle you want. Other shots, it's kind of built in. You have to hit there anyways to make it. Playing with more pace in this set. Might have just liked these last 3 shots, but could have also possibly made a decision to ramp up the pace a little bit. Good line here. Got the 7 and the 8 in opposite side pockets. Might have gone a little straight to move the cue ball to the left. If he did, just play the 8, maybe either corner. Well, he had to come out and assert himself in this first game here, being stuck 1 set. He's done just that. Slowing down the pace again.
secures rack number 1. And the sort of start that he would have wanted. Wasn't the easiest run out, but good cue ball control. Deposits that 10. Looks like he's got a little bit of support here too.
Yeah, just loosening up a little bit, talking to some friends, keeping the mood light. Nose is in a tough spot here.
He's got a set that he has to win to force the shootout. It looks like he's enjoying it, Eric, and that's always a formula for success. You know, the pressure's there, they embrace it, enjoy the moment. Stay loose, easier said than done.
Sticking with the same break. Oh, just he moved over to the middle now. Got 3. There goes the 8-4 rails. Finally found something. Not a shot though.
Yeah, he crunched that break. It's the hardest break we've seen in the match. And secure the ball, and if nothing else, a chance to maintain the initiative here. And good safety required.
Yeah, he'd be looking at playing the cue ball behind the 5, but he's stuck on the rail. He'd kind of have to draw it. The falling angles aren't really leading to playing behind the 5. Could get aggressive and try to draw the cue ball back behind the 9, towards the 6. It's going to favor going towards the 2 here. Got to watch out for the scratch.
Yeah, very close to where he's left the edge of that one. He had an anxious look at it to where the cue ball finished.
Going for the jump again. Not afraid to jump anything, Atencio. You know when you're playing safe against him, you better glue the cue ball to the ball you're playing safe behind, because otherwise he's playing some kind of jump and he's 50-50 or better to make it.
It's also a big weapon following the break when you push out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can push into an area where he leaves a tricky jump shot, knowing his opponent may well give it back to him, and he likes it. It's a weapon.
You can see him playing the cue ball over towards the 6 here, one up the middle. Have to play a bit of right spin if he chooses that shot. He might be okay naturally. Prefer to hit it without the right. I'm surprised at that. Containing shot there. 6 is going to slow the 1 ball down. Be looking at getting the cue ball behind the 4. Looks like Emil's going to have to go to the jump cue for one of the first times. I feel like the first time in the match after Atencio's jumped about 6 or 7 times.
He's called the bottom corner pocket, so he'll be looking to hit the right hand side of this one. Ideally take the cue ball back into the area it is now.
cover the pocketing angle. Might have the slightest of edges on the right side. If he does, he'll be taking the cue ball back towards the 6-10. Went for the cross bank there. Tied up the 4 in the process. Let's get a relatively small angle on the 2. So small that he might choose to draw into the 3-7. Tough. Those balls that are near the pocket are really tough to judge. So we're into a scrappy rack here. Going to be a bit of moving. Emil's now looking at a close jump. A little too close for him.
Always worth calling a pocket. You never know. You get the contact. Anything can happen.
And there's no disadvantage to calling it, just for the players at home. You'll never get penalized for calling a pocket. So always, if there is any chance of a ball going in, it's your advantage to call it.
Well, you got the pocket right, just got the ball wrong.
Gonna have to see if there's angle here to be able to play the 3 in the short pocket. Looks like there is, and just looking at how sharp the 3 is in the side. It's pretty sharp, especially considering what he has to do to get to the 4.
What about Eric playing below the 3, playing the 3 into the 5, welding? Well, I was going to say welding the cue ball behind the 7 and opening up the 5 and the 4.
Would have been a good shot. Atencio leans towards creative offensive shots. He's that type of thinker. He's got a chance to run the rack here.
Yeah, anything in the middle of the table will afford position to the 4.
Line cut angle, elevated. A lot tougher than it looks. So a chance for Gangfløt to get 2 games ahead in the first set. Gonna have to get some tight position on the 6. The 7's lying easy enough. It's gonna go 2 rails across. Just a question if he wants to shoot the 5 in the shorter pocket or the longer pocket. Considering he has to get pretty good on the 6, I think he'll favor the shorter pocket, but he'll have to play a good shot here between the 10 and the side. That's a great shot as long as it doesn't go back across. He's found the side pocket there.
Wow. What a turnaround that is. After he knew that side pocket was in the equation for sure. And this is going to be straight draw. Clearing the 10 to leave the 7 in the side pocket. He's got a lot of weapons, this young man.
Yeah, the type of player that if he starts feeling good, you know, he can really control the pace of a match, kind of get himself out of tough spots. Just has to look for the consistency.
Yeah, and he's got to try and eliminate some of the simple errors in his game, because he's certainly got all the tools. And he's a very fluent shot maker as well. 1-1. Set number 2, Atencio already having secured set number 1. Smooth over the cue. Silky smooth.
Bit of a smile there. Feeling relaxed, feeling that he's got away with a few things in this match. Happy with where he's at the moment.
And he knows the worst case scenario is a shootout for him, having won the first set. I'd like to try and avoid that fate, because when you get to that shootout, anything can happen. Pressure mounts. And that's the best that Emil Gangfløt can hope for.
Yeah, the roll from the 4 to the 5 in the last rack was pretty tough. I mean, he hit that shot really well, playing the cue ball nicely between the 10 and the side rail, in the side pocket. Just ended up lining up with the opposite side pocket. Atencio going to the middle here. Both players mixing it up, recognizing that their initial game plan hasn't worked, trying to make something happen here. Hit him great. Lots of action with the balls. Nothing down again.
Yeah, pretty tough to string racks together when you can't get a ball off the break. Emil has seen a couple good breaks, but
no shot afterwards.
no, we haven't seen a break and run out yet in the match.
Yeah, surprising. He'll be looking to get the cue ball behind the 4 here. Gonna have to hit it softly, thinking about a way that he can create a little more distance with the 1. Played around it. Looks like the 7's going to block the side pocket, but Atencio's high percentage safe here. It actually goes. There's enough room. He's called it inside. Yeah, the 7 was forcing him to the outside of the pocket there. Just got a little too wide on it. Touchy jump here, but I would expect him to make it. He hits the left side of the 1. The cue ball will be traveling towards the 2. Caught a lot of draw there. Worked out. If this 3 passes the 8, it'll help his run out chances a lot. Pretty tight down the rail there. Might have to run into the 3 here.
I think that's his only option here.
It's right into it too thinly. He's right at it though. No thought of safe here. Going right after the corner bank. Played the short side of the bank because he knew he'd play better into a 2-way if he did hit the short side. Atencio just seeing if he has any window between the 5-10 there. If he doesn't, we're finally going to see him kick at a ball instead of jumping. He'll be going at this 2 rails, trying to hit it half ball, trying to pocket the 3. If he doesn't, the goal is to create as much distance as possible.
This is a key ball, looking where the remaining the remaining balls are.
Hit a ball first, and a lot of the time that's not going to lie into getting safe as often, but it did this time. Left the right edge, but there's not a lot he can do with it. Even if you go thinly off the right edge, it's tough to keep the cue ball straight enough towards getting behind the 4. Looks like he might be able to bank it up the middle. Containing shot. Cue ball's on the rail here. Atencio is the type of player that would just elevate and spear this in. Too tough, though. We're going to slow roll it. Both shots are tough. Well, Gangfløt with the first chance to take the lead again in this set. Pretty sharp in the side here. Just got to finesse this a little bit. Play it with power. Smooth through the acceleration so you can play it with as little power as possible.
Yeah, worth another look. This was a very tricky shot into an acute angle. He's got plenty of angle on this 4, just needs to avoid the traffic on the left-hand side.
One run in the 7. It's close to getting in his way. He's got it though. Survived that little possible mishap. He's looking pretty close at it. Might have just enough. If he doesn't, he can always overcut the 5 and play safe, but he definitely wants to play offense here.
He's got plenty of pocket. Just a question whether he can see enough of the 5. He's made his mind up.
Oh, hard to believe he could actually overcut it and not hit the 6. Just not quite firing on all cylinders, both players. But the more chances you give Atencio, you know, can see him breaking a running a rack at some point. Gangfløt's going to have to take full advantage of his next chance. Just wants some kind of angle here, either side of the 8, so we can move the cue ball over towards the 9. Got a little straight, but he'll be able to go forward here. Just has to judge the deflection of the left spin. Ooh, came up a little short. Still enough that I'd favor him to make it. Shot there. Nicely on the 10.
Yeah, better shot than it looked. Thin cut and superb control of the speed. Across the bed of the table a couple times. It's a 2-1 advantage. Now, can Atencio solve the riddle that is the break?
Yeah, he moved in the middle of last break. Didn't make one, but I think since it's not working from the side rail, I think it's time to just switch it up and stick to the middle.
Very evenly matched, these two, though. See a lot of similarities in their games. A little quicker, Atencio at the table. Makes his mind up quicker and a little bit more natural and flowing, but now that I've seen them both, it's the type of match that, for me, it's a coin toss. A roll here, a roll there could determine the winner.
Yeah. Both of them capable of playing at a bit of a higher level, too. Not that they've played badly, but both are very up-and-coming players. Just looking to really find their way to get to that highest level. Atencio, part of the new breed of players coming out of South America. With him, Gerson Martinez, Christopher Tevez. All players that are threats. Switching over to the right side rail now. First time we've seen him break from here. Got the 5. No shot on the 1, though. If you can see the left edge, he'll be trying to track the cue ball to the left of the 10. Can't see it. Tempting to try and kick this ball in, but it's too aggressive. Cue ball can end up behind the 8. Gonna have to come up with some kind of push here. Didn't want that. Covered himself at the 4. Was trying to leave an edge there for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Emil's taking no time and putting him back. But here's that jump cue option, Eric, that I talked about, being able to jump. But I highly doubt that this is what he wanted.
Just thinking about what he's actually going to do with the jump. I mean, it's going to guarantee him the hit, and I guess he can't go to the right side rail because the 10's in the way.
Yeah, he called that right-hand side.
I noticed, yeah. I think he thought he knew it was going near the 10. Just thought there's a chance it could go over there. Almost maybe off the 8. He was trying it more, but he was trying to. He hit the side of the ball he was trying to hit.
And I'm not sure whether this goes. Emil's having a good look at it.
No. Gonna have to. There's a lot of blockers down that end of the table. Figure out which one's the highest percentage to get behind. Shot clock got him. I think this shot clock fell. Atencio's looking at the ref. Might have been a slight malfunction with the shot clock there, because it definitely went off. Might have just started too early or something. The ref was aware of that. Good shot there from Atencio, blocking all the easiest kicking rails.
Yeah, same path that the one just took. 2 cushions. He's called the bottom corner.
Yeah, that's just enough of the short rail to get into the second rail here. Three ball's going to play a big part in this rack. It's available from the short side of it. If Atencio gets inside the 10 here, he'll be moving the cue ball towards that area.
Yeah, you got a feeling he's got to play this with a bit of speed, Eric. Side cushion, side cushion. He's got to get the cue ball back over to the right-hand rail to have the angle to get over to the 3 from the 2.
Nice shot there. As long as he doesn't have too much speed. He's okay. He's moving towards it.
Not bad at all. Yeah, I think he's actually perfect.
Yeah, he's very, yeah, he can put a nice aggressive stroke on it. Nice shot.
From a very awkward position, he's made a couple shots now and has matured this to one of some merit.
Bit of work to do on the 4. Might have to draw this with left spin. Didn't quite get around the 4 how he wanted. Got the bank available though. Ooh, that was a big shot in the second set here. He's left it on for Emil as well. Might have to play a slow roll, but he'll be happy with this chance. Yeah, cue ball's actually tracking further right than what he wants here. He's considering maybe playing around 3 rails, playing it with more spin, but he's going to be elevated. Tough to judge. There's the speed. I think it'll do. Thinner than what he wanted. He's very thin on it. Cue ball's going to be loose here, but he's got to make a quick decision. Nice shot. Staying alive here with a few good openers. Again, nothing easy here, but I think he's finally going to be able to kind of let loose on a stroke. Try to play the cue ball between the 9 and the side pocket, and that'll play around to going 3 rails and getting good position on the 8. Could play it with a bunch of left, could run into the 10. Lots of options here. Got to come up with his decision quick. I actually think in the end he decided to run into the 9, which was a good play as well. Slowed the cue ball down there. Allowed him to hit the 7 more aggressively.
I think that was a great decision and terrific execution too under pressure. He didn't hit that one clean. He's got a nice angle on the 9.
Yeah, just going to have to come across the short side here, but he'll be able to play into the second rail and back into the angle. Good shot. Interesting match we have going here. Overall, only 1 game separates them in the overall score.
Yeah, it always looked close, and it's panning out exactly that way. 2-2 in the second set. And it's a set that Gangfløt has to win.
Went from the middle his last break as well. Pretty sure he made a ball, so I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks to the middle on this break.
A lot of action going on in the outside tables too, and as we've already noted, another hour and a winner's side lock up here on both tables. Aloysius Yap and Chang Jun Lin on table number 1, and here it'll be SVB, the South Dakota kid, up against Canada's John Mora.
Yeah, Shane's been on a real hot streak here lately, winning the World 8-ball, 10-foot tournament at the International Open. Great hit.
Absolutely nailed the cue ball. Parked it right in the middle. It was just kicked to the side cushion, but no love at the table.
One passes the 6. Just going to be looking to avoid traffic coming up table. He's thinking about the path between the 210 right now. Might have to play a bit of left on that if he wants to take that track, which makes the shot tougher, but looks like the safest one. Nice hit. How's it going to end up on the 2? He's good. Nice opener there from Atencio. You can see Gangfløt kind of looking away, knowing that that was a big shot.
Yeah, the break just hasn't been kind to whoever's come to the table. Another indication here. It's almost like turning it right over to Atencio.
Just asking to get the cue ball cleaned here. It's actually a little straight where it could be tricky to draw back and get the proper angle on the 5. Not perfect here. Cue ball's playing to the left where he could choose to play the short side or a power over. Short side was okay for him there. Nice shot, and he's back in line now.
Yeah, doesn't have to do anything with the 7 there, begging near the side pocket. This should get him to the hill.
Very good flow when the balls are all there. You can see the talent.
He doesn't wilt when the finish line presents itself, does he?
Nice to get on the hill in the second set. Nice run up there.
And made to look easy. And they're never easy, not this stage. And coming down the backstretch, and the pressure mounts, and mistakes are magnified. Hadn't really seen any negative thoughts carried back to the chairs from either player, really.
Yeah, and they've struggled a little bit, but they've held their composure well. You can tell that they've been in these spots, and they know that mistakes are going to happen here and there, but both have Had good composure throughout the match. Fought really hard. It's come down to a close result here.
Both, you know, you look at them sat in their chairs too. They very positive, you know, body language, upright posture.
Yep.
I always remember being told that when I used to play. You know, sit in your chair upright, be ready to get out of it.
Sure, and you know, even if you're slouching in your chair, it's almost like a sign of like giving up, and better word than that, but it's kind of what I mean. Just kind of not being positive towards getting back to the table, right? Little body language is a big thing.
Yeah, a look of resignation, really.
Right, yeah. Need one. Doesn't look like he's on the one.
Every single rack has been a battle.
Yeah, we're on about 15 breaks and no break-in runs. Has the edge. Just has to consider if he can hit it properly to actually pocket it.
Well, he wants to have a good think about it. Had a look at the shot clock. He's got a little extra time following the break.
Yeah, I knew he was just a little thin here. Look at this. Going to push into a jump, and this is what you were talking about earlier, Jim.
And you know what? He can't give it back.
Right, and so, you know, doesn't know exactly how good of a jumper Emil is, but overall might consider him an underdog here, and Jesus would be a favorite. So it's a good push. Push nice and close where he's going to have to elevate high. Great shot.
The gauntlet was thrown down and it was picked up. That was a great shot. He's left the one right there. First set went hill.
Second set's looking the same. He'd want the 4 to pass the 9 on the side, but if it doesn't, he'll find other ways to manage. Might even go to the opposite side pocket here. Cue ball's probably tracking too far to the left, so play the corner. Good shot, was able to get close to the 7. Short shot here on the 4. Wants some angle to get back towards the 6, and he has enough. Probably going to choose to draw this one back. Could follow it, but 9 could get in the way of the following angle.
100% Eric. Following through brings the 9 into the equation.
He is going to follow, though. Still makeable, but short of where he would have wanted to be.
Yeah, now it's a tall order. This a very thin cut down the cushion. The cue ball tracking across the bed of the table at speed. Never liked him for that, Eric.
That was a great try there.
I certainly didn't think he'd overcut it.
Yeah.
But he just left himself a lot to do.
No Garuda. No Garuda. Come to the turn dance or go table 31.
Just been looking to contact this thinly, maintain the top spin in the cue ball. Watch out for the cue ball into the 7. Just all right, but really 50-yard line. See the disappointment in his face there. If it's too thin of a cut in the corner, he has the side, and it looks like he's going to have to. Shot of the match here.
And a glimmer of hope for Gangfløt. Sat in his chair. This is a 50-50 shot, and he knows it.
Didn't get it. 7's going to end up all right, too. Drama continues here in this match. Shot clock, held his nerve good there.
Yeah, he really does milk that clock, doesn't he? He takes a lot of time, and it winds down almost every time.
Hill for the second set in a row here. Gangfløt will have the break in the 7th game.
Well, we've been treated. We had a Hill set number 1, Hill set number 2, and Emil has to win this rack to get to a shootout. So little to choose between these two.
Yeah. So what we expected. And looking to go for a break here. See what the ref has to say about it. The general rules are 1 break per set.
Yeah, I can't see him allowing a break. I just can't.
Not allowing it and accepted it. Didn't make a... Just keeping himself in the game. See the focus there. Bit of visualization, maybe a bit of positive self-talk. Atencio kind of slouched over a little bit, but just waiting for the balls to be racked. I'm sure he'll be in a more pouncing position when the rack starts.
I don't think they'll let him take a break, even if he wins this rack. Goes to the shootout. I don't believe he will allow a break then either. So he's got to dig himself in.
Five on the side, 6 down as well, and finally a shot on the 1. So, first chance at the Hill game here for Gangfløt, and I'd make him a favor to run the rack. Obviously, big pressure involved. Everything's lying pretty good, though. Got too much angle here. He would have wanted to shoot the 3 in the left corner pocket. So he's got to move over towards the side. Pretty small angle to get on the 3 there, where he's going to be able to move the cue ball up table, but I think that's the best option. on the right side of it. Still ways out of it, but it's going to be a lot less natural path towards the 4 now. I think he's got to follow 3 rails here. Ton of speed involved in that shot. You'll want to avoid the 7 coming off the 3rd rail, which is actually tough. Could stun it to the left as well. 9 plays big on that shot. He got through it real nice. Nowhere near the 7. Nice shot.
Well, he's pretty straight on this 4. He's just showing you where he's got to leave the cue ball. He's going to jack up and just maybe draw back a couple inches. That's it. Or go forward. Just get the cue ball a little closer to the middle of the table. Not quite dead straight.
Shot there.
Nice speed. He looked a little edgy the first couple shots for me, Eric, because his position wasn't where he wanted it to be. Now he seems to retrieve the situation. And he's right on line.
Gonna have to drag at this, but 7 will be playing towards the pocket at a good speed to make the pocket big. Over the top of the 10, but pretty good attack angle on the 8.
Cued that one real nice.
Yeah, weathering the storm here under all the pressure, getting through the final rack. Of course, it's the first break-in run of the rack, 14 games in, but that's how these matches go.
How's the timing?
Yeah.
And to get to a shootout, there's 10. He's gathering his focus.
Nice shot.
Pumps it in. An emphatic break and run out, and so timely. And again, thumping this 10 in, but that was much needed. And a shootout arrives. Well, I've got a feeling we are going to get a break. I think he must have had to go to the washroom, and the ref was accompanying him. So we'll take a very short break, and we'll be back for the shootout.
It doesn't matter what the format is, the better player will still win.
This 10 ball to win the title. He is your champion. New world champion. Philippines are the world champions.
We're back, folks, and there's your shootout graphic, just to again give you an idea of what is going to be taking place as soon as Emil Gangfløt gets back. 4 shots each from a box. This is shown with the green check mark. 2 from either side of the table. And if after 4 shots we're square, that box is cut in half. They play from the half nearest the corner pocket, and it's sudden death. But we noted there was so little to choose between these two, and well, didn't it pan out that way?
Atencio was actually involved in the longest shootout in history of the Predator Pro Series. It went 14 shots. So I mean, imagine that they moved the cue ball back after 4 shots. And there could be misses involved within the next 10, but you wouldn't expect there would be many. And that was with Naoki Oi. Oi ended up winning the match, but you know, having a pocketing percentage of say around 80 or 90% from that back box is very tough. So it's something that he's comfortable with. And if you were to make a favorite, I would tend to go with him. But one shot can turn everything here.
Well, and you can't discount the pressure.
Shane will be up next on this table here.
Yeah, anxiously waiting. And the shootout does tend to bring out a few of the players. They all like to see it. This is when the pressure mounts and everything is under the magnifying glass.
It's going to be a men's winners qualification match coming up scheduled for 5:30 Atlantic time, pretty much right after this match. Playing John Mora from Canada. Had a little lunch break with John today, said he's feeling confident.
Got a feeling that washroom was quite a walk away from our main table here. Emil Gangfløt hasn't come back yet. I wasn't sure they'd allow the break, but I know the referee walked him right to the washroom, so it wasn't going to be a break to do anything except go to the washroom.
Almost every player that plays in the shootout chooses to shoot second. Just seems to be a bit more of an advantage.
Looking forward to seeing Shane play in about half an hour's time, just over. He'll hit a few balls on the table here just to loosen up, as will John Moore, I'm sure. Here comes Emil now, so the shootout will be getting underway very shortly. You know, one thing, I wouldn't want to have to play the shootout, Eric, if I had to hit the washroom first.
Yeah.
So you need that washroom break, no question.
Referee just explaining the rules here. Both players have played plenty of Pro Series events. Atencio choosing to shoot it from a little bit more in the middle of the table. Interesting how different players have different styles of attack at the shootout shot, similar to the break. Smooth, right in the heart.
Good start from Atencio. Down to Emil to reply in kind. 10 ball, as you'll note, is just below the spot, right where it would be in the rack. And also the way that it's placed, where the 10 is facing the roof. So it's the same every time.
Yeah, not able to use the strike to aim. That's bad news for him out of the gate there.
Yeah, he lets that shot clock wind down. And for me, I would certainly find it off-putting. I can't speak for him because he did it an awful lot during the match as well.
I was just going to comment the same thing. I mean, you know what you're going into here, right? So, I mean, yeah, I think you're definitely trying to get the shot off before you hear those beeps. Whether you acknowledge it or not, it can't be anything positive towards success in the shot.
He's in trouble now. He can't afford another miss. And he knows that if his opponent doesn't miss, he's out. Of course, speaking about Emil Gangfløt.
Tricky part here is that he's shooting second too, so it's almost like they got 2 strikes against him, right? The other guy's kind of 2 shots ahead of you always.
Better, but it was one he had to have. He's got to keep Atencio in his crosshairs, no question. Now back to the other side of the table yet again. And he knows this match is well and truly in his grasp. 2 more 10s. If he makes them both, he's through.
Doesn't look like missing here.
No, he doesn't on that side. 10 ball goes right into the center of the pocket. And very clear the storyline. Emil can't afford a miss. A miss now, he's out. And he needs a miss from that man. Strike. So now the time has come. Last shot for Atencio, and if he gets it, he wins.
Yeah, what a match we've had here, and finally a shot at the finish line for Atencio.
Yeah, it's there. Never looked out. 4 for 4. And Jesus Atencio survives the shootout. In the end, the score will read 2-1 in his favor, but it was so close. Right down to the shootout, and so little to choose between these two. But in the end, just fewer misses than his opponent. He survives, and he will go through. And Eric, enjoyed it a lot, my friend. We'll be back. Stay with us. Another half an hour, Mora and Van Boning.
It doesn't matter what the format is, the better player will still win.
This 10 ball to win the title. He is your champion. New world champion. Fighting champion. Philippines are the world champions.